In this video, I'll be talking about Chinese remainder theorem. It says let n1, n2, nr be positive integers such that GCD of ni, nj is equal to 1 for I not equal to 0, or I can say that these positive integers are relatively prime to each other. Then the system of congruences which is given as this, or I can write down this in the combined form as x is congruent to ai modulo ni for I lying between 1 to r. This has a simultaneous solution which is unique modulo the product of these integers n1, n2 up till nr. So now let us do the proof of this theorem, and for the proof I will follow a construction step. So let me to first consider a product which I take it as n. N is the product of n1, n2 up till nr. These integers which I have selected in the starting, which are inside the modulo condition, and these integers are relatively prime. And now for a fixed value of k, for each k varying from 1 to up till r, let us define capital Nk, that is equal to n upon division of nk. So this is equal to n1, n2 up till nk minus 1, nk plus 1 up till nr. Or I mean capital N is equal to n divided by n1, capital N2 is equal to n divided by small n2, and so on. We have total r integers here, so that means capital NR is equal to n upon nr. And we have noticed that these integers are relatively prime. We have said that in the statement ni, nj is equal to 1. And notice that whenever from here you can see that n1 is from n, this is the product of these n1. So this is n1, n2 up till nr by n1. So we have already taken n1 in the denominator, so this get cancelled out, and that means in n1 we do not have the term small n1. So the GCD of capital N1 and small n1, this is equal to 1, because in n1 we have now the terms n2 up till nr, and its GCD with n1 must be equal to 1. Similarly, from the other expression we will have the GCD of n2 and small n2, that is equal to 1, and so on. Capital nr and small nr, this is equal to 1. So in general I can say that GCD of capital Nk and small nk, this is equal to 1 for k varying from 1 to r. Now once we know that the GCD is equal to 1, we can write down the corresponding linear congruence. So we have nkx is congruent to 1 modulo nk, because we have done in my last video that we say that a linear congruence ax congruent to b modulo n, this has a solution if the GCD of a and n divides this b. And if we know that the GCD of a and n is equal to 1, then definitely 1 divides b and it has a unique solution. So if it is 1, this linear congruence is always solvable. So now we are using the same fact. We have said that the GCD of this is equal to 1. So we constructed a linear congruence and we know it is possible to find a solution for this. So let us say solution of above linear congruence as xk. And now considering this as xk, we know nk xk is congruent to 1 modulo nk. So this is holding true. So this holds true. So now what we claim is, so we know we have solved the first congruence and we want to now put up a claim that if I consider a simultaneous solution, that is x bar, which is equal to a1 capital N1 into x1 plus a2 capital N2 into x2 plus so on plus ar capital nr into xr, this is the simultaneous solution. This is simultaneous solution of the given system of congruences, So this satisfies all the congruences. Now notice that a1 we already know, this is given in the statement, n1 we already know, x1 we have just recently found from here. So here this congruence is true for all values of k, for k that lies between 1 to r. So that means x1, x2, x1 will get now from this congruences. So considering x equal to a1, n1, x1 plus so on up till ar capital nr xr, this is congruent to ak capital nk xk modulo nk. So now since I have fixed this nk here, so you see that in n1, by the definition in n1, nk will definitely appear, because in n1 small n1 is not appearing, all the other terms are appearing, n2 to r. So that means this side is congruent to 0, this side is congruent to 0. Similarly, this is congruent to 0, and all the other terms will be 0 except this term, because in nk what we are skipping is we have n1 up till nk minus 1, and then we will start multiplying k plus 1 till nr. So except this term, all the other terms are congruent to 0, because in that this term will be appearing. So we further see that using this quantity nk xk is congruent to 1 modulo nk. So I can write this expression as a1 capital N x1 plus so on up till ar capital NR xr. This is the value for x bar, and this is congruent to ak multiplied by 1. So I have replaced this value as 1 from the previous expression modulo nk. So we can see that x bar is congruent to ak modulo nk, and you see that here this k is general 1 to up till r. So that means whenever we have this fixed value for a is equal to 1, we see that we are going to replace this expression as a1 n1 x1. This will be the term which is remaining, all the other term will be congruent to 0. When k is equal to 2, here we will have a2 n2 x2, and so this claim which we say that this one x bar, this definitely satisfy our system of congruence. And for the uniqueness, now we want to prove that it is unique also. Now let us prove for the uniqueness. For the uniqueness, consider x dash is any other solution. So let us x dash is any other integer that satisfy these congruences. So that satisfy these congruences. And if it is the alternate solution, so we know that x bar is congruent to ak, and we also said that x dash is any other solution. So this is also true, x dash modulo nk for k is equal to 1 to up till r. And from here we can see that nk must divide x bar minus x dash for each value of this k that is lying between 1 to r. And but we have also seen that, noting, because we are saying that k goes from 1 to r, so for different values of k, n1 divides x bar minus x dash, and then we will take n2 divides x bar minus x dash, and then we will take n3 divide x bar minus x dash, and so on up till nr divide x bar minus x dash. And we notice that these ni, nj, their GCD is equal to 1, so they are relatively prime. So this implies now I can take the product of these n1 n2 up till nr must divide x bar minus x dash, and in this case the product is, the value is n, this is x bar minus x dash. So we say that x bar is congruent to x dash modulo n. So now because they both comes as in the congruence to each other, they are not incongruent, so they will not be considered as two different solution. In fact, they are in the same class, so we will say that it holds the uniqueness property, and hence the Chinese remainder theorem proves. Let's apply Chinese remainder theorem to solve the system of congruences, and let me to write here what were the steps. If we have been given x is congruent to a1 modulo n1, and in this similar process we have been given x is congruent to ar modulo nr, and we have seen in the statement that each ni and nj, this are relatively prime, so their GCD is 1 for every I and j. I is not equal to j, of course. And for this we have claimed that x bar, this is equal to a1 capital N1 x1 plus so on up till ar capital NR xr. This act as the solution of the system of congruences, and where nk, this is n upon nk, and we have considered n as the product of these integers which are inside the moduli. So now, keeping this steps of the construction, let us apply this into the question. And here now I can compare it from, we see that this is a1, a2, a3, and this is n1, n2, n3. So I am now writing the values. a1 is 2, a2 is 3, a3 is 2, small n1 is 3, small n2 is equal to 5, and n3 is equal to 7. So n is 3 into 5 into 7, and that is 105. Capital N1, which is equal to n by n1. So that means 105 divided by 3. So this is 35. And similarly capital N2, that is equal to n upon n2. So we got 105 divided by 5. This value is 21. and I got n3. This is equal to n upon n3. That means 105 by 7. So this value is 15. So now I need to construct the linear congruence. So with this capital N1, so we know that nk and small nk, their GCD is equal to 1. So we have to construct nk x congruent to 1 modulo nk. This linear congruence I want to construct, and we want to find the solution of this linear congruence. So considering now the numbers that we have obtained, integers that we have obtained here, 35, 21 and 15. So I have construct now 35x is congruent to 1 modulo n1. So in that case, n1 is from here we can see this is 3. For the second congruence, now I'll take n2, that is 21x is congruent to 1 modulo n2. n2 is 5, so here it is 5. And for the third case, I will consider 15. 15x is congruent to 1 modulo 7. Now we want to solve this value, and here we can say that for x is equal to and let me to call the solution as x1. For x1 is equal to 2, this gives me a solution. We can say that if I substitute x1 is equal to 1, so 35 minus 1, that is 34, it's not divisible by 3. If I put here x is equal to 2, so 35 into 2, that is 70, minus 1, 69, so that is divisible by 3. And in the similar process, if I take x2 is equal to 1, so 21 into 1, that is 21, minus 1, so 20 is divisible by 5, so this is satisfied. And similarly, if I consider 15 into 1 minus 1, that is 14, so 7 divides 14, so x3 is equal to 1. So we got now these x1, x2, x3 also. So that means in the formula we know a1, we know n1, and we also know x1, and so we know all the other expressions, and so we know the whole term. So we can now construct the x bar. So x bar, the simultaneous solution is a1 n1 x1 plus a2 capital N2 x2 plus a3 n3 x3. So this value is a1 is 2, capital N1, this is 35, x1 we just have obtained, that is 2, plus a2, this is 3, n2 we got 21, and x2 is 1, plus a3, that is 2, n3 is here, it's 15, and x3 is 1. So now when I multiply, this integer comes out to be 233. So we say that x bar, this is congruent to 233, this modulo 105. So this act as the simultaneous solution to the given system of congruences. And we can further reduce this. We can see that this is not in the reduced form. It's a larger quantity than 105. So from here we can divide it by 105, and we see that we get 23 modulo 105. So x bar congruent to 23 modulo 105. This acts as a simultaneous solution for the given system of congruences.